Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to the Secret of Monkey Island 2. So, we're in an interesting position because we've left Kate in the prison. We've got the map piece from this island, and honestly, I don't think there's anything else we need from Fat Island. The question now is, we've got to go back to Booty Island yet again.
Where'd you want to go?
Captain Dread.
And we can't ever get that commentary back. So we have to go to Scab Island to get the hammer and nails. And we're gonna see this cutscene.
I think this may be controversial too, but I think that the special edition for Monkey 2 is an improvement. Like, as an old, I'm very nostalgic when I played the special edition for Monkey 1.
Let's see if this commentary cuts
so charming.
off
I
when
would
I walk
play it in the
out
old
there.
art. The new art was really pretty, but I was really drunk. But
Yep, it does. So we're kind of in a weird point too, because we were trying to see how much you can have as far as money, and it seems like the truth is you can have as much money as you want.
Thanks. Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
And you can just do this. Ideally, I would want to do this
Thanks.
18 more times.
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
To get more money, but
Thanks.
frankly,
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
doesn't seem like there's ever going to be a realistic limit here.
Thanks.
I imagine that
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
It's a coin flip if it would stop you getting 6,000 gold.
Thanks.
Here's
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
Days of gameplay you would need to do of doing this action over
Thanks.
and over again.
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
Is unrealistic, and that's where your real barrier
Thanks.
would be.
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
But as soon as I saw off his peg leg, this source of free
Thanks.
income is gone.
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
And so I would like to beat the game at 600 gold.
Thanks.
And
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
unless I'm spending gold to charter the ship to move back and
Thanks.
forth, which
Here's
I
a piece
don't
of 8 for
think
your
I
trouble.
am, then there's really nothing.
Thanks. Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
I don't think there's anything else we spend the money on.
Thanks. Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
Of course, this is nowhere close to the amount we started the game with.
Thanks. Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
So where are we now? 5 more times to just be at
Thanks.
600.
Here's a piece of 8 for your trouble.
And if we can end the game at 600, I think
Thanks. Here's a piece of 8 for your
happy
trouble.
to show that there's really no score system here. There's really
Thanks.
no
Here's
level.
a piece of 8 for your trouble.
Point-and-click adventure games before this game certainly did have some score systems. It was
Thanks. Here's a
pretty
piece of 8
common
for
in
your
some
trouble.
series where you would have a arbitrary
Thanks.
score
Here's a
you were
piece of
given
8 for
for
your
every
trouble.
action you did, and what you very possibly may beat the game. You would try to beat the
Thanks.
game doing
Here's
everything.
a piece of 8 for your trouble.
And I guess that never fully caught on. So we're at 601. So if I spend even 2 pieces of 8, then I'll be below 600. See if this triggers any new commentary.
Aye! My leg! Help! Someone get a doctor!
Now that peg leg is so well polished, it's probably just floating in the lane.
I think
And I suppose we could just drop by every area and see if there's anything new, but I seriously doubt there is.
Nice.
We will have to come back here to do a few more actions later on.
I think.
We'll have to deal with Wally once we have all 4 pieces.
I love Wally the cartoon.
Hello.
Once we have all 4 pieces of the map, we'll need the ashes to life to get the 4th piece of the map. There's no reason to buy any more grog. This area doesn't have any commentary on it. This area doesn't change. It doesn't have any commentary on it. I have this feeling that maybe I am missing some commentary because of just not talking and having some lines of dialogue happen. But I don't know. Then I would kind of need a walkthrough specifically built around the developer commentary, and all the walkthroughs you're more than likely going to find for the Secret of Monkey Island 2, whatever its real name is, are going to be web pages that were made for the original game, or maybe a decade after the original game, but still several years before the special edition comes out. And I imagine they dropped the ball here by not just doing a few things that they probably could have done. For example, if they had randomized where items appeared on the island, that would be interesting. That would give you a reason to potentially want to play this game 2 or 3 times. If they had or not even randomized, but just rethought a second puzzle path, that would be very interesting. Of course, that goes to a remake more than a remaster, but if you could go back and forth and change things even in the old version of the game, that would be rather amazing. Probably too much work, more work than they're really willing to spend. Let's face it, this is a lazy remaster. It does a good job, but it's not doing anything super unique. It's just upgrading everything, modernizing all the graphics and audio, and sort of it doesn't even really succeed in updating the control scheme because it's tied to the old game so much. You can't really modernize it any better.
Back again, Mr. Threepwood?
Well, that's enough voodoo for me. Bye.
So be it.
So, no new dialogue choices. You can see from the critical path I have found, it's pretty obvious that you do have to come back to Scabon twice for very little reason. You have to come back once to get the green spit, and once to get the hammer and nails. Maybe there's even a way you could have combined those two. Yeah, probably. And now that I think about it, there probably is a quicker way.
Captain Dread.
So we're back to Fat Island. We don't ever need to go back to, so we're back to Booty Island. Like, so we need to go in here.
Well.
Stan. Look, we took the costume from the original game and painted
Here's
it
an
black.
interesting thing is
Same animation.
I'd rather listen to the developer's commentary.
It's that cost savings we had to do.
I'd rather play the game and not have to
the
listen
pattern
to
that
Stan
moves with the
because
coat
I find
is
them
like-
annoying as a
That's
voice.
something that we did on the 2D games
Voice
to
acting.
save ourselves a lot of effort, but as soon as they started making them in 3D, then it became really hard.
Right.
Wait, how do we replicate that effect?
Here is the Cadillac of coffins.
Stan.
Leg room. There's room in there.
I don't know why it lets me trigger the same
Here.
dialogue right
Let me get in and show you.
after it just showed it. It seems
Yes,
just like
a man
bad
can really
programming.
rest in peace and comfort with one of these. Why should a man's coffin be any smaller than his bunk at sea? Can I show you anything else?
Could you show me that coffin again?
What an excellent idea!
So this
I
is
could
a
spend
little
a
bit
lot
of a
time in a
difficult-
coffin like this. Look at how freely I can wiggle my toes.
Sure. Try out the lid operation. It's just as roomy closed.
It's a little difficult to do with a controller.
I hear you knocking up there. That's solid oak you're hearing. Yes, it sure is nice in here. Hey, I think the lid's stuck.
There we go.
Excuse me, friend. Could you see if the
Now we have the
clasp is
crypt
closed on
key.
this thing? I seem to be stuck. Are you still out there? Hello?
When you hammer all the nails in Stan's coffin to trap him.
Oh wait.
Hello?
When you hammer all the nails in Stan's coffin to trap him, I turned off min jiffies. There's a little
Really?
scum tip for you guys.
Just so it go really
Turned
fast.
off min jiffies so it would go really fast. But I think on a modern computer it would go so fast that it would break the speed of light and blow
Go
up your
back in
computer.
time.
Yeah, it might cause a shift.
It would undo several puzzles that they had done previously.
Do you remember turning off min jiffies? It was like a Keystone Cops
Well,
effect.
if you held down the shift key, you know, in the debug mode, if you held down the shift key, we just turned off
Everything would go
Minjiffies.
go as quick
Yeah,
as
so we could run
possible.
around as fast as we wanted. Yeah.
I hope this thing's not airtight.
See, and there's a developer commentary that isn't gonna make any sense or have any value to anybody who didn't program a Scum game. So almost nobody. Fine to have in the dialogue if they were just constantly talking, and I imagine they were constantly talking, but then they took out a lot of the dialogue. But if that is truly the case, that they were constantly talking and most of it ended up on the cutting room floor, even the stuff that did make it in isn't that good. Oh, I've screwed up. I've realized I've screwed up. I forgot to reinforce the ore. So we're going to have to go back to... We're going to have to go back to Scab Island yet again.
Dang. I don't think I should hammer that.
Darn it, darn it, darn it. And see, I don't know if there's gonna be more commentary, so back to Dredge Ship.
Where'd you want to go?
Back to Scab Island. Run this way. And then hand him this.
Excuse me, could you take a look at this?
Looks like a massive fracture. You're gonna be using this? I better reinforce it for you. Here you go, boy. Steel shank, alloy splints, better than new.
Now, here's the trick. This is a reinforced ore. We broke the plank. I know we broke the plank. Or maybe we didn't. Maybe the plank always works and never breaks, and regardless of what position you put in
I
it.
think
That is possible. So much for critical pathing it. We've definitely messed up. Although maybe not messed up as much as we thought, because we could, while we're here, at least move forward with the story. No developer commentary here. And C, I'm pretty sure.
It's inscribed with a quote. Mouthwash. We don't need no stinking mouthwash.
I'm pretty sure this doesn't ever change.
I'm not opening up one of these without good reason.
Ah, so we have to figure out the solution first. So we look at
Big
this.
whoop. Unclaimed bonanza or myth. This is fascinating. It says here there were 4 pirates.
So you have to read the
Rapscallion,
books
the
once.
cook, young Lindy, the cabin boy, Mr. Rogers, the first mate.
We can go ahead and skip that. And then you have to read the famous pirate quotations.
Happiness is a warm manatee.
And skip that. And now we can
I
open.
don't think there's anyone of interest in there.
What?
Famous pirate quotations. Happiness is a warm manatee. Old skunk eye. Kiss me, I've got scurvy. Fester leech. Darg! Rapscallion. Violets are blue.
Oh, it did
Roses are
change.
red. We're coming aboard. Prepare to eat lead. Commander Buttonhead. Mouthwash. We don't need no stinking mouthwash. Barney Gout.
So it did change it. Interesting.
Violets are blue. Roses are red. We're coming aboard. Prepare to eat lead. Darg!
No developer commentary here.
Silty.
We grab the ashes. And then we go this way. And we'll go ahead and just do all of Rapscallion, which means this time the last piece of the map that we collect will actually be on Booty Island. Fine. Doesn't really change too much.
I don't want to pull it out of the water. It might be covered with jellyfish and swampy parasites.
Aside from the poor controls on the left stick, and I suppose it's worth pointing out that this is a brand new Xbox One controller, the first game I've ever even played it on, and it's still, in this, the way this game is programmed, it's not working right. The multiple different directions are just too close to each other. So like switching from here to here, from left to right, is the matter of maybe 3 or 4 degrees when it should easily
that's
be
just a display model.
Be closer to 15 to 30 degrees.
I've
difference.
got the real stuff back here.
Like,
that's one of my most powerful potions. Brings the dead back to life.
Let's go ahead and skip.
I'll take it.
There are some complications.
And we'll skip this. And I guess we skipped everything because we already had the Joy of Hex, and so we won't even read the Joy of Hex, I guess. Or at least not outside of that cutscene that we skipped. We will still have to come back here and deal with Wally when we have all 4 pieces of the map. And I imagine having the next piece of the map might trigger some different lines of developer commentary, but maybe not. It's been very, very short for a
Stan's
game.
Cozy Crypts, a place to spend eternity, not a
in
fortune.
realistic gameplay, you're going to take 10 hours to play. And see, when it loads into this, it's the same regardless of which one you pick. It's always at the same angle, always looks the same. Man, the game seems so slow to doesn't make any sense. Like, this is a game designed to run on a 286 processor. It can't run in the special edition on a 6-core processor. It does like 2.5 gigahertz.
You were killed, Rap.
Like,
What
terrible optimization.
You're deader than dirt.
I'm dead?
No developer commentary.
Cold as leftover pork chops.
I'm not ready to die. I feel my soul is not at peace. There is something I must do before I pass on.
Like, you mean finish War and Peace?
No. I just have this nagging feeling that I left the gas on in my restaurant.
I'll check the gas for you, Rap.
Thanks.
Skip some of this.
Here's the key.
No new commentary here. Now this will be the first time that we actually get into the Weenie Hut, and the only time we get into the Weenie Hut, so I could imagine there's maybe some commentary in here. But I bet it's just the three guys laughing. It's also worth pointing out that Ron Gilbert and Tim Schafer, bigger personalities, clearly. You can even hear it in the commentary because that third guy, I didn't even catch his name, hasn't really had anything to say. He's just acting as a... Probably he's sitting between the two of them so they don't potentially end up fighting each other or something. Just in case. He's there to probably play referee. I doubt they would physically fight each other, but they might get into verbal bickering. No commentary at all. So back to the crypt we go. And then ash to life on the coffin. Like, this is a cool effect.
Well,
very full of action.
You were right. The gas was on. I turned it off.
It gets so undercut.
I guess where I'm going, I won't need this map anyway.
Thanks.
Now I can rest in the folds of the earth, like a steaming weenie in a soft, fresh bun.
I suppose there is a reason to play this game a couple times. It varies a few things. Not enough, though. It's always one of these coffins is the right coffin, and so you'll have to play the game enough to figure out which one, but it's never... you'll find a grave somewhere on this island, so you have to search the entire island. I don't think there's anything else to do on Scab Island now.
Where do you want to go?
And so we're back to Booty Island again.
Once again.
Any developer commentary here? No.
LeChuck's, sir. I just wanted to report that we have finished building the new torture chamber you requested.
So we could see, I suppose, if there's any new developer commentary that would pop up in any of this. It seems unlikely they would have anything to say for parts of the game that don't.
I'm not dead.
When you hammer all the nails in Stan's coffin to trap him.
Let me out! I need to go to the bathroom!
It's a...
How do you solve this? But you blow the horn and that makes the cannoneer fire his cannon? Why does he do that?
This is
an adventure game. Who knows?
And then you have to watch that girl's belt to see if the wind is blowing.
Right. Because you have to blow...
Oh, and you have to move the flags.
To move the flags, that's why you keep distracting people with the cannon. Yeah.
I like that new save icon they have. Little
His name's Dave.
Oh, so one of the things that you do is not cheating.
You distract the guy so you can move the flags. Oh, and then you're
But you're
using
looking
wind,
for the wind.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah,
also
yeah.
another thing a pirate have to do as a sailor.
Understand the wind.
Understand direction of the wind.
You'll notice though with the green stuff that you make and drink, we sort of predicted the entire, like, all the doping scandals and all the other sports. Like,
Do you have to make special spit?
Is he juiced?
Yeah, you have to.
Is Guybrush
He's
juiced in this?
He's juiced. Yeah, you make the.
Oh, juiced. I thought you.
The recipe of the green gunk that makes your spit better.
Why would that make your spit fly farther? Just
makes it
more
hang
viscous.
together better.
Doesn't
so
that make it
you
also
get the-
heavier?
Well, I'm not sure the weight of a glob of spit is the limiting factor there.
It's rather ridiculous
Spit it
that
harder
this
and
is the most interesting.
Trust me, last time I was in a spitting contest,
conversation they've
Dave's
had
gonna
so
write
far.
the
Spit it
science
really
of
hard,
Monkey Island book.
You know, it
And explain all
vaporizes.
this.
That's the problem with chucking pumpkins too. Is if you throw them too hard.
I like how this is. I think this is Peter Chan's own writing. The flags say "spit" and "fun." Why would you put that on a flag and just spit? Spit,
That's why
fun.
you don't let artists write.
And what would you put on?
It would be fun and spit.
Oh well, that's much better.
Yeah, it's kind of rolls better.
In fact, they do it very well. Step up to.
How do you solve this?
Test your swill.
So that's a sad statement, really. The most interesting conversation is about the spitting contest. Well, last time we were at 61%. I imagine we've skipped to somewhere close to 75% now. Well, no, we're only at 70% at 2 hours and 47 minutes. I really didn't expect this game to be this long the third time through. Even trying to run, I'm having to do a lot of repetitive things to look for lines of dialogue from the developers. So, anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.